Hello, welcome back to Tony Doc Station. In this video it's going to be a bit of a long one, so grab a cup of tea, make sure you're sitting comfortably. Some of you may know I recently went to Miniatur Wunderland, or Miniatur Wonderland, which is in Hamburg in Germany. If you see me looking down, I'm reading my notes. I tried to film as much of it as I could, but this place is huge and I only had the day there. And I wanted to be able to enjoy it myself as well. So I was filming bits as much as I could to try and give a flavour for the whole thing. The video, this you're about to see, just doesn't even come close to the real experience. The detail is astounding, and the camera, just having watched it back, just does not even do it justice at all. It just doesn't capture the detail and the experiences as it's there. That being said, I still wanted to show the experience and give you a flavour for it, just to make your decision if it's something you might want to do. I would highly recommend it, and I definitely want to go back. There's going to be no sound in the video, although the experience there does have sound. The trains are sound, the planes and background music, and there's all different sound experiences there. There's so much crowd noise that you can't really get a feel for it, so rather than just listening to however long of crowd and different noises, I'm just put it as just video, and I'll put some music in the background, so that's why there's going to be no sound. Also, on the topic of the crowds, it did make it quite difficult to film, so it might be a bit bumpy or juddery at times, so I do apologise for that, but it was very popular, very busy, and getting to the front of the exhibition wasn't always as easy, especially with the camera. So I've tried to cover as much of it as I can, but there's so much more there that I just didn't have either time to do or be able to capture with the camera. It's just you need to experience it yourself. So a few quick facts about the place. So far, having read the literature, they've done just under 800,000 hours of building time, which is astounding. They started in December 2000, and obviously they're still running now, and they're still expanding. There's still much more that they've got planned. They've got 4 more sections, all due to be completed by 2021, and even after that they've got more plans for expansion. 2 of those 4 sections will be ready by November this year, November 2019. And you'll see in the video they've got some of it, the construction open, so you can see how they're building it and what they're building. The overall size so far is 1,500 square metres. All of these facts I'm going to read out are only of what is currently finished and completed. It doesn't include the 4 more sections. So just under 800,000 hours, 1,500 square metres. Track alone is 15,400 metres of railway track. There are 1,040 different trains, the longest of which is 14.5 metres. There's 1,380 signals all working, 3,454 points or turnouts, 50 computers, 389,000 lights, 263,000 figures, 130,000 trees, and a total cost of 21 million euros so far. And that's just the basic figures that they've put in their literature. So this video is going to be a bit of a long one. Sit comfortably. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you do consider going out there. Thanks. See you in the next video. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of commentary over parts of this video. This, as you can see here, is the open frame technique that they're using to build. I'll show you a little bit more of that at the end, but this is the new section they're building. And just to the left there is the Italian bit, but you can see how the open frame technique gives them a lot of options. This is Hamburg, and this area here that you're looking at is the Volkspark Stadium. They actually say here that it was made 1:150 scale, because otherwise it would have just been too big and wouldn't have fitted. Construction time for that was over 2,000 hours alone. And what you can see there is the construction site being built. Quite a good little construction site with a crane being loaded over the railway as well. They have a railway depot, which is what you're coming around to look at, just to the right of that station there. Just in the background, that's their railway depot. The actual area itself is quite a large area. The whole of Hamburg that they've sort of modelled here. They've said as well that it's not in real locations. They've used a lot of imagination, so they've used real parts and put them in different areas. So for example, the depot might not actually be next to that station, and the football stadium isn't near the construction site, etc. So again, looking a bit more at their railway depot there, I was really quite taken away by that, and the construction site. You'll see here the camera starting to glitch as it now fades into the night time. So as I was filming during the day, it would then transition to night time whilst the camera settings were ready for day, which was a bit annoying. But that's the football stadium set up there at night. Here is the I think it's where they have their harbour, where they have a lot of boat restaurants, etc., and a lot of their musical theatres are around that area as well. I quite like this scene here at night. You had the large road with all these sort of headlights and tail lights as well. And this is just sort of like a panning shot now around the whole of the Hamburg at night. So the quality of filming when it was night time, as you can see here, it's transitioning back to day. It does make a difference on the camera settings. That's one of the ice trains there going into the Hamburg main station, which was quite a breathtaking piece of modelling. Look at the size of this. Just the sheer scale of all of these things here. They have the replica of the harbour and quite a lot of the dock areas, which I'm going to be using quite a lot of inspiration from. This here is the Kolbrand Bridge. If that's not being pronounced properly, I do apologise. Quite a famous bridge. And so yeah, I filmed quite a lot of this area for my own inspiration for the dock. I'm going to be utilising quite a few techniques from here, but that bridge was quite a piece of modelling there as well. Quite like this fuel area as well, and then as it transitions around into their sort of town area again. So moving on to the next area, this is the USA, and what you're looking at there is the sort of the rocky area, sort of like their sort of country area. The car system here that they're using is one of the first areas to be implemented with the car scene. As you see, the Hamburg one didn't really have any moving vehicles. That was the first thing they built, but now the USA does have a full working road system. Even the gantries, information boards all light up with different information, lane closures, etc. And what I found astounding, which you can't really tell, is that the vehicles, the indicators will come on when they're changing lanes or merging, brake lights, and all the headlights come on automatically when it transitions to evening as well. It really was quite astounding, the road system. Here obviously is the good old Grand Canyon. Really had to fight to get my way in there. But again, the scale of this thing is huge and just mind-blowing. This is the Las Vegas area at night time. Just breathtaking. So the detail into all of this, I mean, you just can't tell, especially in the evening, and the camera just hasn't got the quality to pick it up, but to your eye when you're there, it really is just, I can't describe it enough. Moving on to this Scandinavian area now, This is the Ix Wilhelmsburg, which is the International Garden Exhibition, and I really tried to get as close as I could to this, just because the detail in this garden again, it's really, really impressive. I'm certainly going to be utilising some of those techniques. And we're now looking, I think, towards the bottom end of the Scandinavia there. I don't know what the name of that station is, but it's one of the main ones. And then panning around to the right, this is all real water, and the boats, the large container ships, the large ferries, all automated and controlled on real water. Isn't acrylic, that is real navigation there. The quite large bridge again, don't know the name for that one, but the trains running around that. Again, you'll see that there's no moving vehicles on that bridge, but there are moving vehicles, I think, down the other end. There's a sort of ship manufacturer building one of the ships here, little effects of people welding, etc. But again, the detail on this area was quite good. I drew a lot of inspiration from the dock area over here as well, certainly more around what I'm hoping to look for. As you can see there, it's got a lock area as well, which actually operates. I didn't get a chance to see it, but some of the boats do go in that lock and go up and down. Wish I would have got a chance to see that, but apparently that is operational. And again, the large sort of industrial area. I'm just trying to see if I've got the name of it here, but I don't. Moving on to middle Germany now, and this is the one that has quite the long ice train that we saw earlier. Goes through Hamburg and through into middle Germany. This model fairground here, it's got 4,811 LEDs on its own, and there is a clip of this at night time as well, which you'll see hopefully very shortly. This was quite the large bridge that I liked. The details in here, for example, pumping water out of the river, going over the tracks there and up to a little forest fire, which you can see they've put out now. That if I zoom in there, which I do, yep, it's all burnt out, which is quite a good bit of detail. The levels on this is what I really like, and it's part of why with my layout, went for multi-layers. Although it's nothing in the same scale as this, it certainly does add for operational interest, having trains going over others. There's that ice train there. That one alone is just over 8 meters long. It's not the longest one that they have, but it's pretty impressive nonetheless. Here we have a crime scene, a dead body in the water, and that being investigated. Again, the little details you miss. And here I think is their Herman monument, and as you can see through there into the next area, they all do sort of interconnect. This floor here, but again, just having a pan around here, just to give you a real flavour for how big just this one section is. There's the fun fair, which you can see lit up at night. Just the scale of just this one section, and then you think of all the different sections put together, it's just mind-blowing how big this thing is. And as I say, the detail of all of this being hand-built, this fun fair, I believe, from what I'm reading here. This is the control centre for the entire exhibition. I just did a quick pan here, I didn't want to seem too intrusive, but you can get a feel for how many people need to operate this thing and how large, how many different control centres they are. This area is called Nuffingen, and it's a fictional area. So there are elements of real world parts in Nuffingen, but the actual area itself is completely fictional. It's not meant to be replicative of any particular area. And that's their sort of main emergency service centre there, where a lot of the road vehicles will sort of start from there. As you saw at the beginning, the fire trucks going up to put out a fire where there was real smoke coming from it, just the little touches which made that quite nice. And again, talking about the layers here, you can see we've got a railway right up the top, in the middle and at the bottom. Moving down to Austria here, just another nice looking layout with quite a large sort of area here. You can see the large cloud that does have lightning and sound effects to it when it turns to evening. I just couldn't get that because the camera not being very good in low light, but to the eye it was very, very good. Here is Nuffingen Airport, again a fictional airport, but part of it, the main terminal, is actually an exact replica of the Hamburg Airport, but the actual whole airport is fictional. They all have firefighters for the airport as well. They all have practice training drills, so there'll be like a fake plane crash where they'll collapse the nose gear and the firefighters will all run out to it. It's really quite good. I think they often have a space shuttle landing where the firefighters and emergency services run out to that. But this piece here I filmed quite a lot of because it really was, it blew me away. I mean, they have, as you can see there, the arrivals and departure board, so you can see when real planes are coming in, or that, not real planes, the model planes coming in and landing and departing, taking off. But the scale of this airport terminal here and all the car park and the figures, that little well there you can see, there's people in shopping trolleys going down there trying to have some fun. The people inside the building as well, there's loads of little stories there. And the whole of this airport works. Everything you see works. The taxiways light up and illuminate where the plane follows them. The passenger loading jet walkways like move and dock into the plane. Real fuel and passenger baggage and cargo and food service trucks all move to the planes when they land and take off, and taxi to the passenger area. You can see a plane there in landing. At night time I have got a couple in the daytime as well. You can see it all obviously lit up. There's one there taking off just as it turns into daylight. You can see there's a sort of a fuel area there where a lot of fuel lorries all sort of originate from there and go out. They have quite a few interesting aircraft, say including the Concorde there, a NASA space shuttle, the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. They've got a couple of kid-friendly like insects flying and taking off on their thing. It's quite amusing. You can see the fuel trucks there. And so even these have indicators when they're turning in left and right, and it's just, the details astounding. Every sort of thing you can think of working, full functioning working airport. And this is the sort of training centre, as you can see there in the top left corner, and the NASA space shuttle I was talking about. And of course the aircraft maintenance area. Some cargo trains running through the airport there as well. This is the train station for the airport, which is underneath the main terminal, as you can see there. It runs the whole width of this area. But this whole airport alone was 4 million euros in cost to build. That's obviously not including staff time, but 4 million euros just for this area. It is as big in itself as the entire Hamburg area model. So the scale of this is just astounding, and it just goes to show how big these things are. And doing this, obviously this is all HO scale. To do this on a model railway, you just don't have the space unless you have this sort of space to do it well. Everything about this airport is technically amazing. and how the whole system all interacts with each other. So as you can see here, one of the aircraft coming in, and you can see the flashing taxi lights telling the pilot which way it would do, as in real life. And at the end there is a pushback trolley, which I don't think I captured it, but when they depart it does actually push back, and the jetway on the left there does rise up and connects to the aircraft door to allow the passengers off. If an aircraft does land on one of the stands, buses will go out to that aircraft to pick up the passengers and return them to the terminal. It's all quite clever. I was very impressed with that. Moving on to Switzerland, and quite possibly one of the largest in height. It spans across the 2 floors of the building, as you can see there down on the lower level, and standing up on the balcony to look out over there. This is a cement and concrete plant. Nothing particularly overly astounding about it, but just I quite like the industrial look about this. So as you can see just on the left there, the top floor, and then looking down, we're sort of on the middle. Just standing on this middle section here, looking left down towards the lower section, you get a real feel for just how large this section alone is. As we travel down now, I've gone down to the lower floor, and the last part of Switzerland extends out here into the middle, and just to the left and surrounding the wall is a different country. They have one of the large concerts, DJ concerts with people dancing about on there, which is quite entertaining, and a very large crowd as well. As you can see here in the daytime, it is absolutely massive, a very large festival. And there is the chocolate factory, which apparently makes real chocolate. And then this is the bottom area of that Switzerland bit there, as we were looking down on. Looking up here, just you get a real sense for how large this is. Just looking at it from the last corner here. Moving on to the last section, Italy. Just in the background there you can see Mount Vesuvius. Apparently each one of these buildings is replicated on original buildings from this area and are all hand scratch built. just here you can see there is a real life replica of the Italia in Miniatura, which is a miniature park in Rimini, which is one of Italy's most popular sightseeing attractions. So it's literally a model inside a model. And here, just seeing that coastline in night time now, you can see how they transition from day into night. Just the last part of Italy here, they've got the marble manufacture area, and moving around now into Rome. This is quite an outstanding layout section here, with replicas of all the major landmarks in Rome. What I quite enjoyed now is just over in the distance there is a replica of Tuscany as well. But they've got the Colosseum, they've got obviously the Vatican area and the large Italian train stations. As you can see here, service coming in and then another one departing. As we're approaching the end of this video, I'll sort of start wrapping this up and leave you with the last bits of imagery. As towards the end of this video, you're going to see the other side of that open frame baseboard construction. One bit here I found quite astounding rather, is this column here. Just the detail across it and leading down to the bottom here, that metal work and the weathering. Really quite impressive. So they move around now, and let's say I'll leave you with these last bits of imagery, and you'll see how they're constructing the new section, which is going to be Monaco and Provence. They're the ones that will be due for opening in November this year, 2019. And it doesn't say what the other two areas are going to be, but there is a lot of work in progress, which is quite good to go up and see. So I do appreciate you taking the time to sit through and watch this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, because it really has been such an amazing experience, and I do really look forward to going back. But once again, I do really appreciate you sticking with me and watching my videos, and hopefully I'll be seeing you in the next one. Please do like, subscribe and click the bell for further notifications.